In this video, I'm going to bring to light a few habits that you can start working on to alter your relationship with money and improve your finances so that you can start the path towards a better financial future. I'm going to hit the ground running with this one. The first habit that you need to break is not tracking your income and expenses. Do you know how much money you spend each week? We can't expect to take control of our finances if we don't have an accurate representation of how much money is flowing in and out of our accounts each month. If you don't keep track of what income you make, what your bills are, and how much you spend each week, how can you know where you financially stand? It seems pretty simple and straightforward. We should be able to track our spending habits, especially considering that the majority of our transactions nowadays are digitally recorded through our phones and credit cards. So why is it that the majority of people don't track their finances? Is it because we're embarrassed of what we'll actually find out where our money's going? Or is it simply because we've never really been taught to do so? Hey. So, you keep track of your finances? No. Me neither. Do you keep track of how many Instagram followers you have? Oh yeah. You? Yep. I personally like to track my expenses on a spreadsheet. That way I have to manually enter all the data and it keeps myself accountable. Another alternative that I could suggest if you don't want to have to manually enter all this data are the apps called Personal Capital and Mint. With these apps, you can link your bank accounts, your credit cards, and your monthly expenses. It'll input this data for you and show you monthly trends over time so that you can actually see where your money's going. I suggest taking a look into tracking your expenses. I think you'll be surprised just by how much money you're spending. If you've been alive for more than one day, you probably understand that as humans, we all get hungry and we all need to eat. But where you're getting that food from can have a huge role in your monthly expenses over time. And that's why the next habit that you need to break is you need to stop eating out as much. Don't get me wrong, I love going to cool restaurants and trying new foods. But by the end of the night, after your meal, a drink, and a tip, that can be a big chunk of change that you could have saved and invested instead. I suggest you start eating at home more and meal prepping for the week ahead. In addition to saving you money, this also helps you save time and it helps you to eat healthier. I know that it can be really tempting to just call Uber Eats or go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru on your lunch break, but think of how much money this is actually costing you over time in comparison to you buying groceries and meal prepping at home. Let's say eating out costs you roughly $10 for every meal. Now, if you choose to eat out for lunch and dinner every day for a week, that's going to add up to $140 just for those meals. Multiply that by 4 to get your monthly amount, and you're spending $560 just on food at restaurants that's probably unhealthy for you anyways. A cheaper and healthier alternative to eating out every day would be buying your groceries and cooking something nice and healthy for you at home. One of my favorite meals to meal prep for the week is fried rice. You can throw pretty much any source of protein, any veggies in there, and it's gonna taste good, and it's pretty good for you. My typical grocery amount that I spend each month is only $140, which is equivalent to eating out at fast food restaurants for 1 week. It's pretty crazy. It's something to seriously think about, and it can play a huge role in the amount that you can save over time. The next topic that I want to bring to light is your cost of living. More specifically, your housing costs. You may notice a trend here. I'm going after the very essential expenses that we all have to pay each month. All these recurring expenses that people of the modern world have to pay just to live from month to month can be significantly reduced with a little bit of forethought. If you're thinking about purchasing a house, consider moving to a cheaper area of the town and don't buy something bigger than you need. You could potentially buy a duplex and have one side rented out. That way, the tenant is essentially paying your mortgage off for you and you're living there for free. If you're planning to start renting a house or an apartment, consider getting a few roommates so that you can all split the cost together and reduce your rent. With time, these decisions are going to save you a significant amount of money over the years and will rapidly compound if you invest it instead. The fourth habit that I want you to break is not paying off your debts. I know that it can be really tempting just to pay the minimum amount due each month on your credit cards, especially when money's tight. But if you're only paying the minimum amount each month on these bills, you're going to rapidly increase your debt and the money you owe overall. I highly suggest paying off your credit cards in full each month. It shouldn't even be a question. There is no reason for you to allow a $100 purchase to become a $300 purchase because of the interest rate compounding your debt on these credit cards over time. If you can't stay on top of this and you can't trust yourself to pay off these credit card statements in full at the end of each month, I suggest you just get rid of the card, period. It's going to save you a lot more money in the long run just by avoiding these crazy high interest rates on these cards. Alright, this one might hurt some of your feelings, but it's a serious problem, both for your finances and for the environment in general. And that is just shopping for fun. Obviously, there are very essential things that we all have to spend our money on each month, like food and housing. I've already discussed that in this video. When I'm talking about meaningless spending and shopping for fun, I mean just browsing through Instagram and Amazon looking for things to buy for no purpose. If you're just scrolling through online stores to do retail therapy out of boredom, there are plenty of better things that you could be spending your money and time on. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. No one actually cares what you look like, what you own, or how fancy of a crowbar you have. Stop spending money on things that don't truly bring value to your life. Expensive taste and an expensive lifestyle is not going to lead to financial freedom. It's only going to waste your money and time and leave you feeling empty and your bank account dry. If these things are what are most important in your life and your image is all you care about, I suggest reflecting on what truly brings joy and value to your existence. And finally, the last tip that I can suggest is subscribing to my YouTube channel, Brushfire. This channel and the information I have to share is just starting to grow, and I hope that I can continue to bring you valuable insight in the world of finances and help you pursue the truly amazing life that you are meant to live. Before we conclude, I don't want it to come across that I'm arrogant and unaware of the financial burdens and the struggles that so many people have each month. I want to try and educate and help you all with that. But I truly believe that if you reflect on these habits and apply them to your life, taking action, there are small things that will start compounding over time that can change the financial trajectory of your future. If you think you've got these money habits under control and you think you're ready for the next step and want to start investing for your future, I suggest you start watching this video right here, or wherever it is. And if this video brought you value and it's something you enjoyed, please leave a like so that I know to continue making content like this. Until next time, let's keep this fire spreading.